Sorry about this.
So much for popping in, huh?
Well, I really didn't expect I'd have to start working.
It's nice to be needed.
Think so?
I'm just trying to make the best out of a bad situation.
I think you're making things worse.
Me? What do you mean?
I can hear your thoughts.
What are they?
Indecent.
You got it.
Why don't you call the studio? And meanwhile, this crowd will thin out and I can meet you at your place later, okay? For dinner?
Dinner?
For starters.
Well, it's definitely worth waiting. Besides, I love watching you.
Were we ever that young? I'm thinking.
Were we ever that much in love?
I'll tell you, I was that much in love once. And I was that young once. But not both at the same time. Maybe that was the problem, huh? What do you think?
I'm worried about that little girl.
What, Felicia? That little girl is in the clouds, honey.
Yeah, honey, I know that's the problem, and I think maybe I'd better give her a night off before she dumps hot coffee all over her customer.
You know, Tony and Tanya are going out for dinner, right? So we have no problem.
I can think of one. Josh.
Oh, no, don't worry about Josh. I'll get word to him.
What?
Yeah, I'll send him a message. It's going to say, Dear Josh, stay away tonight.
Well, sometimes messages don't always get delivered. Maybe you should go to the studio and tell him direct.
I know. I should do that. I'll do that. Just not now. Okay?
Procrastinator.
I admit it. I admit it.
That's your complete confession?
Yes.
I have some questions. How long after you shot Brock did you dispose of the objects?
That question is inappropriate. You're making the assumption that she did dispose of objects.
For the record, I'm referring to the dress Miss Blake wore the night of the party, the plaque, the gloves, and the purse. All of these items, Mr. Madison, are in evidence. Now will you instruct your client to answer the question?
You may answer.
What was the question?
You dumped the incriminating evidence in the garbage. When?
The day after.
Day after what?
The day after the shooting.
Later on, did you take steps to assure that Bobby Brock would be convicted of murdering her husband?
That question is vague and broad.
Can she answer it anyway?
I'm instructing her not to.
Then I'll rephrase it. Did you drug Bobby Brock and then slash her husband's scrapbook?
Yes.
For the record, I'd like to underscore certain aspects of this confession. Namely, Mr. Brock's threats to Miss Blake about the Virginia Geller record, Mr. Brock's propensity to violence, and Mr. Brock shooting at my client on the night in question.
So noted, Mr. Madison. But I suggest you do not attempt to try your case right now. You'll be given your day in court. I think we'll break. I'll send out for some coffee and you can type up the confession.
Okay. Speak.
Now, this is what I call good timing.
Sean!
When did you get back, Felicia?
Today, what about you?
Today?
Oh, we were in Mexico.
Oh, so I heard when I picked up my messages. Oh, I also want to hear about that trouble you had down there. My secretary is pretty vague about that.
Because we had some trouble, a lot of it.
Oh, would you like to take your break?
Yeah.
Listen, why don't you Fill Sean and I'm gonna go have a word with Josh. See you later.
See you.
Yeah.
Hey, would you like a cup of coffee?
I would love a cup of coffee.
Come on, matter.
Thank you.
Go.
Oh, good. Yes.
Right up there?
Oh, it's chilly outside.
Yeah, so I hear. Okay, there you go. I got work to do.
Thank you. All right, now tell me what happened.
What didn't?
Well, tell me.
Oh, we went down to Mexico. It was one disaster after another. First thing that happened, we got stopped at customs and we got thrown in jail. Yes, and when we got out of jail, we were kidnapped. We were tied up. We were thrown in a goat pen and we were tied up. Can you believe it?
Tied up?
Yes, with ropes.
Oh, this is incredible.
And it gets worse.
How can it get worse? It can't get worse.
I'm talking about the treasure. There wasn't any.
But there was another chamber.
Yes, I was right about everything, and my ring was the key.
Except for the treasure.
Yeah, it was just dust. Gave me a really empty feeling.
Well, I'm sorry about the treasure, but I'm really not too surprised. And still in all, you accomplished almost the impossible.
That hurts. The almost.
You know, I must say you're taking your disappointment rather well. I just wish I could have been there to help you.
You know, the first time you teamed up with Luke and Scorpio, I wish I could have been there to help.
Well, but then none of us knew that there was an inner crypt.
Yeah, but it sure would have saved a lot of time and effort, wouldn't it?
Possibly. It was worth it, wasn't it? Come on, Felicia. Admit it. It was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The confession signing is one thing, but I think you should know that her admitted gaslighting of Bobby could lead to other charges.
Charges such as?
Obstruction of justice, assault perhaps,
Assault.
drugging.
Robert, are you trying to get a list of charges about a mile long?
This is cop talk at the moment, Dr. Weber. Take it easy.
I'm sorry, I have some very real, practical problems. I'm not going to ignore them.
Okay, Rick, go ahead.
Robert, there's some people that I would like to try to explain this to before it gets in the papers and the press.
Well, I'm going to try to keep a lid on it, but I can't guarantee anything.
Why not?
The process has already started, and it's gone beyond the four of us in this room. We're about to book Ginny. She'll be held in arraignment. You get me? The more people that know about it.
All right, yes, I do. How about bail?
The judge will address that at the arraignment.
Do you think I can get you in the meantime?
Oh, I didn't bring anything with me. I didn't think to bring a toothbrush. I wasn't really prepared for
Fine, then I'll bring you some things.
What about my... How are you going to handle that?
I'll manage it, Ginny. I'll manage it.
Come in.
I'm here for Ginny Blake.